culture is not just pizza on Fridays. It's not just that casual dress down jean day. Culture is built every single day in the way that we treat people. If you are a leader, your job is to create a culture where people don't just survive, but they thrive. If you're an educator that's passionate, but you're tired and you're burnt out and you're wondering what to do next, this is the show for you. We're going to learn together, we're going to recharge together, and we're going to grow together so you can be the best you and serve your students and your community to the best of your ability. What's going on, pod? Welcome back to That With Some Emphasis. Welcome back to the Teachers Ed Podcast. I'm your host, DeShazer. Teachers Ed Podcast is a place where the best and brightest in education come to be inspired, to connect, to learn, and to grow. And before we dive in, I want to remind you, if you are enjoying this show, if you've been listening for a while and you do not, please take a second to subscribe. Please leave a review on Apple Podcasts. And if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and hit that little thumbs up button. If you're listening on a podcast, you can't see it, but I'm pointing down. I think that's where it's going to be at. But hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to their channel. It helps more educators find this podcast and join this amazing community. Today's episode is a little bit different. This is a relaunch. We are starting fresh. My day ones have been rocking with me. You know, I haven't been doing episodes in a bit, but we are starting fresh with more intention, more honesty. And I don't even say more honesty because I try to keep it as real as I can, but a bigger mission. Bringing on more guests. We're trying to really move onto the YouTube platform. I sound like a 70-year-old. The YouTube platform, because I don't know and understand it so much that I say the YouTube and put that in front of it. But we're trying to be bigger there because I want you to be able to see the incredible guests that we have on and not just hear their voices. But today's episode, I am sorry to let you down. It is just me. And I am going to spend my time talking directly to you. So if you are new here, welcome to the Teachers Ed Podcast. And if you've been with me since day one, thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for showing up here week after week. I appreciate you more than you know. So for those that don't know me, wanting to reintroduce myself or introduce myself, my name is DeShazer. I am a school leader. I am a speaker. I am a consultant. I am an author, and I'm just an advocate for education. I'm the executive director of a K-8 school in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Shout out to GHTCA and my team there. And under my leadership, we took that school from 1-star to 4-star. And I say we because we have a phenomenal team. Our team, from every single person that's a part of it. And there's people that are not there anymore that were very, very important to our school going from 1-star to 4-star. So I can never take credit for that. I was just the person that was leading the ship as they were doing all the hard work. So shout out to them. But we did that. And we did not do that by focusing solely on test scores and data points. We did it by focusing on the people. The people are our greatest asset. I've been in education for over 20 years, starting year 21 here shortly. I've seen the good, I've seen the bad, and I've seen everything in between. I don't think there's anything that I have not seen in education. I've been in the classrooms where lights flicker and ceilings are leaking. And I've been in schools where the tech is top tier. And in both of those cases, the biggest difference maker is always the educator in the room. I started this podcast during COVID because I know educators needed to feel seen. I know educators were tired. I know they were like, what's going on? And I wanted to create a space where teachers and principals and school staff could feel seen, heard, and supported. Because let's be real, education is one of the hardest professions out there. And too often we're expected to carry the weight of the world with a smile on our face and no time to breathe. This podcast is my way of saying that I see you. It's my way of saying that you matter. And it's my way of letting you know that we got your back. Let's talk about summer. Summer was wild, in really one of the best ways possible. I had the honor of leading leadership trainings in St. Paul, Minnesota, and Austin, Texas. in Nashville, Tennessee. I also had the honor of doing some breakout sessions in Las Vegas, more breakout sessions in Nashville. And it was just such an incredible group of educators that I had the opportunity to connect with, not only share my story, but I get to hear their stories and connect with them. And every city was different, but the energy, the heart of the people, it was all the same. I met school leaders who were hungry to change their buildings, teachers who were looking for strategies to bring life back to their classrooms, and some entire teams just trying to figure out how to make this year better than the last. And here's what I saw across the board. Number one, we're not waiting on a system to save us. Newsflash, this system ain't going to save us. There's some challenges out there. There's money being frozen. There's leadership that is wavering, and it's tough from state to state, but we are not waiting on a system to save us. We are not waiting for perfect conditions, but we are building culture. We're building community where we stand with what we have, and it's powerful when you operate where your feet are at. But I also saw that people are tired, like not just, and this is during the summertime, not just like, oh, I'm tired, but they are worn out, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally. And some of us are just spiritually worn down. There's a shift that's happening. Educators are no longer pretending like burnout is normal, but we're saying, we need to do this work differently. And that just kind of leads me right into something that has been a deeply personal journey of mine, and that is my sobriety. I have now been sober for over 2 years, 2 years and a little over 2 months to be exact. And if I'm being honest, it's difficult, but it's one of the most important journeys that I've been on, because there was a time when alcohol was my way of numbing out. I wasn't drinking every day. I wasn't drinking a lot, to be honest. I wasn't, because I knew, there was times where I was doing all that and falling apart. But it's how I escaped. It's how I coped with stress. It's how I coped with the pressure and the expectations of being a school leader. But the truth of the matter is, you can only run from yourself for so long. Getting sober forced me to sit with stuff that I used to avoid. It forced me to navigate things I didn't want to feel. But it also gave me clarity. It gave me strength. It gave me to show up. It gave me the ability to show up, not just for my school, but and for my family, but for me. And I share this because I know there's someone listening that could be struggling too. And maybe their struggle is not alcohol. Maybe that struggle is with anxiety. Maybe that struggle is with depression, with stress. Or maybe that struggle is just feeling like something is off and you cannot quite put a finger on what that is. But I want you to know that you are not alone. You are not weak. And there is no shame in saying that I need help. If you're watching on YouTube, my cat just jumped all over my back. So this is why you got to watch on YouTube, because these dudes just run the house. They do what they want. But let me say this really clear for the people that are in the back. We have to stop acting like being overwhelmed is just part of this job. That is not normal. That is not sustainable. You being exhausted every single day does not make you a hero. It makes you human. We keep saying, do it for the kids. Don't forget your why. But what about doing it for you? Because the truth is, a burnt out teacher, a burnt out educator can't light a fire in their students. A drained principal can't lead with vision. If we really care about our kids, we have to start caring about ourselves too. And that starts with checking in, not just on the data, but on your own well-being. That was something that I had to do a deep check on. So if you need rest, I need you to take it. If you need support, I need you to ask for it. If you need to say no, I need you to say it. Because your mental health matters so much more than that lesson plan. It matters so much more than that state assessment. It matters so much more than everything else that is going on under that building. But here we are. It's August. That means the back to school emails, the back to school sales, open houses, new staff, new students, orientations. And let's be honest, that means new stress. I have talked to so many educators over the past few weeks, and almost all of them are carrying some level of anxiety right now. And I get it. You know, you're trying to savor that last cookout of the summer, you know, but in the same breath, you're also making these mental checklists, you know, you're making those seating charts and you're planning that supply order in your head. But let me say this directly, right to you. Breathe. Take a deep breath. You are going to be okay. You've done hard things before, and you're going to do this too. You don't have to start the school year perfect. You just have to start with intention. And you have to give grace, not just for your students, but I need you to give grace to yourself. August is a wild month for educators. There's people that are back in school already. You know, you're trying to be present in summer mode, but your brain is already back in the classroom, back in your office, back in the school building. You know, you're at brunch thinking about bulletin boards. You know, you're laying in bed visualizing how to introduce those procedures. Like, that anxiety is real. And I want you to know that feeling that anxiety is normal. But I want you to remember this. You don't have to come out of the gate sprinting. Being and getting, well, being, that's not being a rest. Getting rest can still be productive. Taking time for yourself isn't lazy, it's wise. You're not behind. You're preparing. And guess what? Your energy matters more than that seating chart that's going to be on the wall. How you show up feeling on day one is more important than where every pencil bin is labeled, or, you know, having all the names on the little plates for the kids when they walk on their desk. So slow down, breathe deep, and give yourself permission to start softly. I want to take a second and just kind of lean into school culture. And I know we'll talk about that in a few episodes. I talk with other people. I have a toolkit, the Building Bridges, that is a toolkit for educators who are building school culture. That was all the workshops I worked on, just getting us being intentional. But I know that school culture has really become this buzzword, but let me break it down as plain and simple as I can for you. Culture is how people feel when they come to work. Culture is the tone in the morning announcements. It is how staff meetings feel. It is whether people feel safe to speak up. It is whether mistakes are met with support or met with shame. Culture is not just pizza on Fridays. It's not just that casual dress down jean day. Culture is built every single day in the way that we treat people. If you are a leader, your job is to create a culture where people don't just survive, but they thrive. And if you're a teacher, you are shaping classroom culture that is going to stick with your students for years. Culture is everything. And if we want better outcomes in our school, we have to start with culture. And I'll go more into this into future episodes. But as I get ready to wrap up this relaunch episode, I want to speak directly to every educator that is listening. You are doing sacred work. And I know it doesn't always feel like that when you're covering a class, you know, for the third time in a week, or when you're digging through a box of broken headphones, or when you're getting cussed out by a student, but you are planting seeds every single day. You are helping students shape how they see themselves. You are helping how they move in the world. You are helping how they build confidence. You're helping how they build compassion. You're helping how they build character, and that's powerful. So as this school year begins, I want you to remember that you are more than your role. You are more than that teacher. You're not just that teacher. You're more than that principal. You're not just that principal. You are a whole human being, and you deserve joy. You deserve support. And most importantly, you deserve peace. I want us to make this year the most intentional one yet. And if anything in this episode spoke to you, do me a favor, share with a colleague, shoot them the link, post it on your story. Let's keep building the Teachers Ed community of educators who want to lead with heart, who want to grow with purpose. So thank you. As you get ready to head back to school, some of you are listening to this and you're like, we're already back in school. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please, as I wrap this up, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a review. Connect with me on Instagram at Edward DeShazer. If you also need any of my resources, please, you can learn more. You can learn more about me. You can head to www.edwarddeshazer.org. This is the Teachers Ed podcast. Thanks for riding with me. Thanks for joining. Welcome back. And let's make this the best year yet. Talk to you soon.